Here we are at Laurel Park for a Saturday of
Hmm.
racing, a wet Saturday of racing. I am Callie Francois, your host. I've got Keith Fustel, our morning line odds maker, next to me. Keith, we had to do a little bit of switching some things up after scratches today, so it'll be an interesting enough day of racing on this off turf day.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. The rains came, washed us away, washed us off the turf course. There you go.
There we go.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes
Sloppy,
indeed.
sloppy track right now. Sealed surface off the turf. I think, this rain on later today, and I think the weather forecast and Sunday moving forward into the next week, even the latter part of next week looks good. So I hope to get back to some turf racing. Yeah, we took a little bit of hit here in some of these, but you know what? We battle through it and we make the best of it from a gambling standpoint.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sometimes
This is
it
what
gives you a little break. Sometimes it eases things up a little bit, makes it a
Sometimes,
little easier.
let's see where I know you found a couple of spots that are interesting. Some picks that I saw that were pretty good that might come up as a little bit of prices. So let's
Okay.
kick in to race number one. We both have some interest in the number one Prima Ballerina, Mike Stidham, Javian Toledo on top. This filly is essentially running into the same situation that she had last time out, going around on a sloppy sealed surface. What I do think is that I think this filly on the inside track, she's going to be placed a little bit more forward. If I'm just referring back to that fairgrounds run on the 10th of March.
Yeah, we're going to go a mile on the dirt. So we go to a one-turn mile. Prima Ballerina, obviously proven form on the dirt. A lot of these other ones, Milady Thatcher does come in, a couple horses off the synthetic. So I guess you can trust Prima Ballerina. An excuse last time at Monmouth. Got beat by my Maggie Moo, but was off slowly, kind of up in the air at the break. You go back, 3 races back on her page at the fairgrounds. That Scratch Cat's a pretty good filly there. She jumped back and won an 80. I ran an 80 in an allowance win at Churchill Downs recently. So she's the horse to beat, no doubt about it. We got a late scratch. Oh,
We
I
do.
missed
I
my
just
late
not-
scratch. My bad on
I
the
just
2.
noticed it about 30 seconds ago.
Okay.
Because I had the 2 on top, but
Nope.
with that
Throw me a
scratch,
curveball.
hey, I was throwing a curveball too. So it's you and me that get staring at the screen saying,
So
hey.
what a second! I just looked up. So no. So Prima Ballerina, she's the horse to beat. She's my top pick. She's a
Yep,
cinch. No, there you go.
absolutely.
There you
So
go.
let's just interesting with that main track only coming in.
Mm-hmm.
My Lady Thatcher. I like this horse as named MTO. Going back
Mm-hmm.
to that, just clearly, I like that. First of all, I love that they're just getting this filly more distance, which she's clearly asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Going to back 7 furlongs. Jimmy Creed 19% on a wet dirt. But let's kick into race number 2.
Okay.
Claiming 10 a mile on the dirt yet again. We've got an early pick 4 ticket that you started off. Did it?
Okay.
How? Let's see how you gave it to us.
Yeah, we arranged it. It's a fairly affordable ticket, $16. Grab a couple friends if you need to. But after yesterday, we'll just ask Shyman. It's good to have John
Yeah.
Shyman back. He gave out that
Yes.
early winner right off the bat. Took you to the promised land in the pick 5. Just
He did. Yeah, he
easily
was
could have
so
used
close. Yes.
that winner, but he tried to keep the ticket affordable. But a good setup there for Shyman. So yeah, here we go. Here's an early pick 4, 2-3 Appalachian Heights. I'm in the funk. 2 chalks to get you started in race number 2. Race 3, 4 deep, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Intriguing first here, freestanding for Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell will pilot. Race 4, RB Star looks like the horse to catch from the inside. Maybe Tora Bronca going for the tag today. A little excuse in a dirt track, a couple races back. And the 5th, we wrap it up with the 4 and the 6. We've got a stat later for you for Lise. I'm going to try to beat this favorite, Crowned Count Christo. $16 the early pick 4.
Very good, $16. A nice way to get you started. I like that setup for how these races are playing out. But let's get into our top selection. Humming the
Okay.
Funk for Hammy Smith, J. Ron Barbosa, 22% with Done Talking on a wet track, and we were able to sample that a little bit back in January, right off the get-go of 2022 in that maiden 16. This was right before this horse broke his maiden, so could have been woken up a little bit by the mud as well. But it was a bit more even than what the form shows a little bit, but I like that this horse is going to have another chance, especially that last time out. That last time out was a great indicator of what we're going to see.
Yeah, she's proven here at the distance. I've got Marquez riding on the final proof. Just
Sorry,
double check.
yes,
Is that right?
excuse me, that
Marquez?
is right, yes.
Yeah, it was Barbosa originally, and we've got Marquez riding. A real good race before the freshening. Ranged up, just couldn't quite get by. Happy Life has paired up some numbers that work against this group. proven on the off track. I think this is an aggressive move. Should have been through the condition a couple races back, unfortunately. Had a little drifting issue and got DQ. But Humming the Funk, there's some a little bit of questionable speed in here. I think we'll run into it and go by. Appalachian Heights looks like the other main threat. Farrier, a drop. I like this horse last time. Claimed for 22 back down in Kentucky. Just kind of even, caught wide, track a little quick that day. Speed carried, was hung out. Just kind of, they ran away from her. She just couldn't make any headway. I think you'll see Toledo put her right into the race. Second dam, is distance. I don't think the distance is going to be a major concern for her. So if she's able to kind of separate, she could be tough to run down. So I go 3-2-1 Flava's Dream, and she's running happy. Some little price shots to use underneath.
Price shots indeed.
Okay.
Let's kick on to this maiden special weight in race number 3, where we both do have that freestanding on top for Brittany Russell. As you mentioned, Sheldon Russell on half sibling one at first asking is a twice listed stakes winner. Graham Dab Pleasure Cat produced second in a grade 2 and a grade 3 with Flashy Gray. A decent enough gate work coming in. I have a feeling that this horse worked with the first time starter that ended up going yesterday. So we'll just it's a matter of seeing how this horse is going to be able to handle the off-going, because he's not particularly bred to love it today. That's my only caveat that I have against him. But with that saying, I still didn't see this race going any other way, especially I'm not too concerned with that outside post for a first-time starter sometimes.
Yeah, training with Kristen, that one didn't run as well as we thought, right? That was yesterday.
Correct, yes.
It took a little money. I thought it would take more money. It just was a little bit flat through the stretch after a wide trip. But see if Freestanding can get the barn back. They've been on a roll of late with these 2-year-old firsters. American Freedom, the sire, 13% with the off tracks. Respective Valleys, the owner had that other sibling that was winning down in Louisiana at Delta, ran big at the fairgrounds in a quality race. So it's there. This mare was quick. Stand by for news. 1 for 7, 5 for 7 in the money, but very quick. I expect speed here out of the 6. Ice Cold Frosty, we have a video, right, of both of Lacey Gaudet. Lacey Gaudet with a big winner in the last race last night. Where'd that come from? 13-1, just one easy off the break.
Paid like 13.60 or something like that.
13-1. But do we have the video of Ice Cold Frosty's race in Quincy Cafe?
It's coming.
It is?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
go.
Ice Cold Frosty by Cross Traffic. He ran well first time out with the speed inside. Gets put in a little bit of a tricky situation. Toledo's going to kind of ease back. Just couldn't quite quicken with a more experienced horse. But I like the way this horse kind of battles back. There's Quincy Cafe now highlighted to 4. This was a good run.
I loved this.
What'd you make of this?
So I love this run by Quincy Cafe, and let me just I was looking back. So this is a horse by Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn, so far he's had about 10 first-time starters, and so far none of them have won. But Quincy Cafe has been the closest to finish out of all of them, as being closest to the winner, and when the winner as of Wednesday when I looked it up. So I'm going to look that up a little bit later for the afternoon. But what I love is that he did hop a little bit out of that start, brushed inside a touch, so he was behind his stablemate's duel. Ended up William just took him back, gave him a good schooling. But what I absolutely love that stretch run coming down the lane, and I think we're going to get to see this horse placed a little bit more forwardly today. So I'm a bit excited for what I saw with Quincy Cafe for the first time.
Okay, the extra furlong should maybe enhance his chances with a little bit better break. It's a win early family too on that bottom side. I think a couple of the siblings won at first asking. Ice Cold Frosty, again, good effort. Maybe the true speed from this position outside of freestanding just doesn't go. General JR, I went back and looked. The race at Delaware off just a little bit slow, and the field just got away from him. It was an okay field, winning by 36, but the debut was very promising. So I don't know what to make. I'm not going to leave this horse out of my gimmicks, but interesting to see how quick this freestanding is, because that's speed there in that family.
This is a Russell horse that I am looking forward to. Race number 4, claiming 40 for 5.5 off the turf event. I've got a pick 6 ticket that I started off. I didn't want to find a single with the way I think today is going to play out. So I go 1, 2, 4 in this race, 2, 3 in race 5. Race number 6, I go 1, 5, 8. And race 7, I go on the 1 and the 3. Thought about singling in that race, but I just kind of kept myself a little bit covered. Race number 8, I go 1, 5, 6. And in race 9, I go with the 8 and the 9 for the nightcap for $43 ticket, $43.20 ticket for a pick 6.
Okay.
Do you approve of that?
I approve of anything you do.
Okay.
You
Okay.
you go. I'm just following along, on for the ride. That's it.
All right,
Yep.
so let's take into race number 4, where you land on RB Star. I
Hmm.
have something. I have a different way of going about it. So take it with RB Star,
No,
and just, and
I
I
just
can understand. I can see why.
unfortunately we scratched the 5, 6, 7, 8 in here. We've got a short field. You've got 4. RB Star is the speed of the race, the speed of the speed. I think if she just breaks, she goes and she goes on with it. You look at the company lines. This is a 2 in life against multiple winners. The last 2 tough little starter race, a couple races back in Pimlico. Catch me if you can with the 1 RB Star.
Fair enough. I went for that MTO. I grabbed that MTO on the chance that this horse is going to improve, because that's exactly what this horse that's what this filly needs to. This filly does need to improve, but I'm going off of that Dale Bennett. As of recently, 29% first after layoff, 4 wins out of the last 14 entries first off of the layoff. So solid enough. Yeah, solid enough. So I'm just banking on that a little bit. Has had time since the end of January to come back in nice fashion. So this is what Dale Bennett's good at. We have Xavier Perez, who will keep this horse placed a little bit more forwardly. Maybe a little bit more forwardly than in the past. So I'm just taking a shot, trying to beat what's the horse that's probably going to come in with a decent money with the 1.
Mare was pretty good around here. Won early, stretched the speed out. I think that was Horacio de Paz mare, right? Tell a great story. And prior to the layoff, that race at a mile, when breaking the maiden, second place finisher, came back, ran at 65 on the dirt. So a good number, keying up against the right kind. You're right. This horse ran well sprinting in debut. Could make a run of it. Torre Bronca did ride the wave of the racetrack when winning first out back in April, just up to beat Utterly Courageous. Then major trouble at Pimlico. You can really put a line through that. So a little bit of a tough horse to gauge. I think maybe coming back to a better surface certainly could rally into it. Needs a cleaner break. Short field's got to stay in touch of RB Star, because I feel she's going to separate early.
I agree, because I had Torre Bronca up on my ticket, but just because of a little bit of unluckiness, I'm just gonna kind of wait that out and see if
Okay.
we can. I'm just gonna cautiously sit back on that horse, but not leaving that horse off of my ticket. Race number 5, claiming 16, 7 furlongs on the dirt. Let's dig into that stat that you have right away on your top selection, Keith. The number 6 lease for Guadalupe Preciado and Forest Boys.
Yeah, how you like this? Well, Lupe Preciado doesn't run a lot in Maryland, but when he does, you have to pay attention. Last 5 years, 7 for 19, 37%. That's pretty strong with these dirt races in Maryland. Look at the ROI, 389. And so I took note of that, and they targeted the main track for Elise this time. So I like that. This horse has been running turf, off turf on the Tapeta down at Gulfstream, a freshening. Good figures, handled a mile, has handled 7/8 in the past. Maybe not as quick as Know How I Know, maybe not as quick as a Ghost Rider Early. I think this horse, though, stays in touch. Forrest is going to rate this one beautifully and bring enough finish for this guy to get it done. I think the 2 is a little bit suspect. Has some good gaudy numbers basically compared to the rest of this field. Off the break, a little drop. This horse was a vet void a couple races back. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on Crown Christo. If he brings one of his better efforts, yeah, he's going to be there a long way. Let's take a shot with Elise off of that stat.
I see that, definitely. I see that with Crown Christo, which is why I just kept him underneath. But I thought to myself, again, we've got a Dale Bennett first off of the layoff, so I'm assuming this horse will benefit from that. And the numbers will just bump back up a little bit, which is why I kept this horse underneath. I go in for Know How I Know. I'm taking a shot with that with that 7 furlong effort back in June. I have a feeling that this horse is going to like that off going, as shown earlier. The only thing, I'm going off of that May 7th performance, and as long as this horse can get a clear go, I think this horse overall has some gate speed that on average that's better than the rest of this field, which gives this gelding a good chance to be able to take it away from the get-go, and just as soon as anybody gets near this horse, he does. Occasionally, he throws in a nice duel, especially 2 back. Just couldn't beat the winner that time out, but just giving this horse a chance. This will be my best bet of the day, so we'll see how this plays out. But I do I like the 6 in the sense of, especially that Parks effort back in December, so I could definitely see where that's coming from. Just this horse should my top selection get taken down from a little bit of speed that potentially is going on, I could definitely see Lise getting that action on it. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I know. Comes back to the right spot too. So taking advantage. This is for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 or 3-year-olds. So no, I know the 3 and the 4 both won 3. I always kind of give a little bit more credence to those horses. You know, the 3-year-olds that might be improving a little bit. That was a killer field. Like, these horses face Silent Malice on really good horses the last couple. This is definite relief for your top selection.
this
Here
is.
we
So
go.
let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be back for race 6.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Race number 6, off the turf, 5.5, maiden special weight. Let's dig in to your top selection, Keith. Who is John Shyman's also best bet of the day? Winked for Ed Merriman and JD Acosta on top.
Riding with Shyman.
Yeah.
I like it.
Go
like
for it.
Winked. Yeah. A scratch in race 6. We've got multiple scratches. Scratch the 2, the 3, the 4, the 7, and the 9. Again, primarily these other horses that are left, it's turf. At least Winked shows a race on the page. Now we're going back as a 3-year-old in November. Got a little bit later start to the race, but that was a good best number. Best buyer number was on the main track. I know we're bumping up from the maiden 25. What I like about that race, it was over a sloppy surface. It was against a way to return, a horse for Damon that I've always respected. And that particular day, it was kind of a speed carry kind of day, and I liked the way this horse made a move into it and kept trying. So effort was there. The speed is there on a sloppy sealed surface. So maybe the chance to separate against a bunch of question marks. I do fear the 5 because, you know, just like I liked McGahee's horse earlier that was scratched. When they stay in, if he's still in, he's out. Is he out? No, I'm
in.
looking at
He's in.
He's in.
He's
So
in.
when they keep him, I give a little extra oomph to those because they mean business. They're not going to waste the trip down here.
Definitely. What I also like about Winked is that this horse coming back into 2022 as a new horse has some gate speed to show. So we just have an improved Winked, especially on the rail. I like JD Acosta. There's a lot to like about the number 1. I was too intrigued by the McGahee horse, and then with Swift Action,
Okay.
There was some issues last time out. So that first time out
Here we go.
looks like, we can see just getting out there. Frankly, it looks like this horse clipped heels a little bit. Once we get going, it doesn't happen right away. Not really an issue coming out of the gate, but we get all these horses tucked in, getting into position, a 16th out. This horse, you see it more on the head. There we go. There we go. Has a little bit, just has a lot to do on the backside. Nearly clipped heels. That's what I saw on the head on.
Yes.
Had a lot to do. Victor had to get to work early on, and she was able to make up a lot of ground. But then we have Johan Rosado and Trombetta, who won 2 together last weekend. At least one was on the turf. So I just see a horse. I just see a lot of improvement on Swift Action for today.
Yeah, we missed that. Yeah, definitely trust us when we say that. This horse showed a little speed in between horses. And then she just kind of got sandwiched. You're right. A little clip heels, a stumble.
Yep.
Really dropped back, had to regroup. And once Carrasco got her way to the outside, she finished with action, with good action. I think, is a definite user in here, more than ready. Certainly capable of getting the horse to win on and off track.
Yeah.
Primarily on the bottom side, it was all turf when I dug up the breeding. But, I do fear it's a shorter field. I think the road's going to go through the 1, but, we'll see.
Hey, but why not? So
Okay.
we've got you covered. We have you covered either way in that race. Race number 7, maiden claiming at 12.5, a mile on the dirt. Keith, you've got the 1 on top, Auspicious Lad. Why do I not have the 1 on top? I've
You
got
do.
It. I do.
Yes,
Oh, you don't.
got the 1.
I have the 1. Sorry,
Okay.
my symbols got mixed up from what I was reading. You have the 3 on top. Give me the argument for the 3 because I need to be. I see it, but I need to be convinced a little bit more in this field on the win.
It's nothing concrete, I can tell you that. It's a little bit of a reach. So federal offense, took a right-hand turn, bolted and walked off on the turf. Has 1 try on the main track. It was an off-turf event, off of a break back in March at Tampa Bay. That race was a double key race. Got in a little trouble early. I don't see a slew of speed in here. I'm hoping Carujo says, let's put this horse in a forward position and then try to move away, separate. Auspicious Lad had a weird trip last time, dropped back, tried to show a little bit late life, believe it or not. I know it's still well beaten 19, but showed a little willingness to the wire. Any number that the 2-back to 3-back race, gets it done. It should get it done. The kind of towering figures against this group on the main track. But you know what? Marilyn McMullen's a good ROI trainer. I know I'm going to get a little bit better price, so why not take a shot on the federal fence?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Race number 8, allowance optional cleaning 62.5, feature race of the day going 6 furlongs on the dirt as intended. And let's dig into your video spotlight on your number 6, Mo's Perfect. Victor Carrasco on top. I like this pick as your top pick a lot because I was fighting as well to put this horse on top. Had a bit of a stumble.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
And took plenty of play. Took more play than I thought. Now, you got the Country Life gang. They've got a lot of people involved in some of these ownerships, and the money shows. But this was really a lot of money, down to 7-2. I thought against this particular field. It was off of a good debut number, 69, but against a little bit of a suspect group. He did it professionally in debut. I like the willingness he showed after the adversity against this field. Hagler gets the job done. Free Square has speed. Free Square has proven to be okay. Came back win the other day with a 75 buyer. Running against the right kind, there is plenty of lick in this field. Al Loves Josie's fast. Sugar Ray Leonard can be forward. And Burks, blinkers on last time, went right to the front. Most Perfect might sit in a good trip. These Moslers like the off-track. 20% strike rate for the Moslers.
That's right. Yeah, so no, I'm just looking at, and that's the only reason I didn't leave him on top, just because, again, a little bit of a questionable field last time out, and then just taking another look at that last 16th when Victor was on, I feel like no matter – Victor could have ridden as hard as he could have ridden. That horse still wasn't going to be going any further. The horse ran well, but I think it was a little bit of a greenness that he kind of went a little bit with the pack, especially for a gelding. So second time out. So I just want to see a little bit more zip. But again, Mosler, 20% of the dirt. That might do the job right there. And again, I had to go for Burks. I like that. I liked what I saw. Beat Liberty Star, who is on the upswing. Might have stolen an easy lead. I'm not so sure he'll find that today, especially as we mentioned with Al Loves Josie. But actually this whole field is a little bit on the upswing. You could make an argument for a little bit of improvement on almost every horse in this field, but I'm just worried a little bit about this horse's rateability. But again, on the wet dirt, rateability, everybody's kind of going to be going anyway, so I feel like that might help him out a little bit.
Yeah, there's no speed really outside him. I don't think Most Perfect, Gallant Gold, they're not going to be close. I think there'll be at least 3, 4, 5 out of it as they head to the turn. Burks has got to concentrate and worry about Al Loves Josie. Can he keep him in his sights? Al Loves Josie is very, very fast. Last time out, just, don't worry about that turf race. Was against the grain of the track 2 races back prior to the layoff. Really duel with a pretty good horse. Then you see 74, 77 buyers beating really good horses, running with very good horses, Coastal Mission. His horse is very fast. He's going to get the lead. Burks, on the front end with the blinkers last time. That was a good group at Delaware. I went back and looked. Their horses bringing in solid numbers in that field. So can't fault his form. I think he'll prompt and put a bit into it. See if he can keep going. I respect him in here.
Let's see if he can mature after winning. That first time out after breaking his maiden, he just kind of went away with it. He will, and let's see how he handles Al Loves Josie, because as you discussed, this horse is popping out of the gate, no problem. But let's go ahead and dig into our last race of the day.
Let's go.
That maiden claim in 30 a mile here on the one-turn mile dirt. We land similarly, but let's talk about number 9 Nibbles for Anthony Ferrier. Or actually, no, you've got the one. I just did it again. You've got the Jane Sibeli horse on top. Yes, Jane Sibeli, and I could see this. The only thing I went against on the Jane Sibeli horse, I like this, but Jane Sibeli's not super strong as of late, sprinting, extending these horses a little bit, but Violence does okay on the off-going, so this could benefit him a little bit today, especially for this horse. This horse is either going to go one or two ways. This horse is either going to love this one-turn mile here at Laurel Park, or this horse is just going to get a little bit touch soft today.
Well, again, scratch the 2, scratch the 3, scratch the 4, 6, and 7. So shorter field out of a big gaudy field on the turf first time out. hung out wide, tried to make a little bit of move into it, maybe into the far turn, just couldn't quite keep going, and faded. Yeah, I'm just looking for value here, Callie.
Absolutely.
The eight and the
Absolutely.
9 are probably going to get to play even with the 5. So you're looking at a horse, I thought that was an okay group, took no action, and probably wasn't going to take a ton of action against that field. But Violence, yes, full mandate. There's enough dirt in there for me to take a shot.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing here. I'm taking a shot for some value. Jane Spilly had Giordani go to Pimlico and run a big race when moving back to the dirt off of some just okay turf tries. So a reach, but I think it's a good enough reach in the ninth because if you're in a little bit of hole, you're going to need a little bit of value here, and that's where I'm going to get it from.
In this field, absolutely, definitely. So nibble Anthony Ferrier. There's a lot to like. There's again, you said it yourself. The 8 and the 9 are going to be obvious candidates in that race, which is why I just played it safe and had him on, keeping it safe for that pick 6 at the end of my pick 6. So Anthony Ferrier, there's just again. First after the claim, first after the layoff, close to close to 30% recently with that, especially that last time out at Churchill Downs. That to me, that's convincing enough for this horse to make a very, very strong case in itself today, and especially on the turf. So let's get into lightning round.
Okay, let's go.
We've got a familiar face in the Indiana Oaks today. Interstate Daydream, who, if you remember, won over here at Black Eyed Susan for Brad Cox. Just didn't take a commanding lead, but just ticked off of it right away. Was able to run away with it. This might play out the same way for her. Arguably enough, with the other Brad Cox horse, Patna at 9-2 might be taking a little bit of that speed, but currently Interstate Daydream 9-5, just your money favorite. Another horse that's interesting in there is the Kenny McPeak horse, Runaway Wife, who might just sit right off all of that. But this filly, she's on a roll. She's very, very strong, and that was Pimlico was the last time we saw her, so hopefully she can make a nice run of it again. But did you happen to look at the race at all?
I did not.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all good.
I'm all Laurel all the time, basically. So yeah, Runaway Wife. My wife, she'd like to be a runaway wife right now, I'm sure. 25 years and see you later. I'm running away.
Well, just maybe for the day with this rainy day. Let's give you
fine.
that. Let's give you that excuse. But let's dig in.
All
We
right.
didn't touch into it yesterday, but let's get into the jockey and trainer standings for just the up-to-date standings currently that we've got going on here in Maryland. If we could get that leaderboard up, guys.
Who are our leaders? Jockeys, trainers, what do we have?
What do we have?
Do we have standings?
We don't have some standings. Let me see.
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Well, let's fly to the next one then.
Let's go
to
on to
the
the
double.
next one. Let's go to the double. We've got Xavier Perez and John Robb making a nice splash yesterday there in the 4th. But what I loved is that first time, that maiden special weight that we're about to see. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is the right video.
That's not
it.
That was Bernie's on Fire, the first one. I do know that.
It was.
This is audacious quality.
This is audacious quality, but had a nice first-time starter back in the 6th, run very, very well, and that horse is a half to Majestic Frontier, Miracle Wood winner, so just keep an eye out.
Yes.
She took all the money, but rightly so, and she chased a nice quick pace on a Salzman horse and overcame that. I thought that was had a green moment going towards the rail, and I was worried because that's a Majestic Frontier thing, but I talked to Xavier after the race, and that's what it looked like. Just a green moment. She got tired, started to follow the leader. He just took her off of the leader and took her on her own path, and she went away she went. So let's get into your best bet and value play.
Best bet of the day. Do we have those? Best bet?
We do.
I had a couple. I liked Hummin' the Funk.
You got
I like RB Star to go wire to wire. So there's a shot. So that's me. That's my best bet. So you can go race 4 with the 1 RB Star. You can go race 2 with the 3 Hummin' the Funk.
Hummin' the Funk is your official best bet of the day.
I've got lots of best bets.
You do. You got a lot of best bets. You got a lot of value
play?
Yeah. Let's get into it. We went over the value play. I had it.
I've got it.
Race number 8.
Yes, it's most perfect for Trombetta and Country Life Farm.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a pace duel up front. Most perfect comes away cleanly today instead of stumbling like last time and makes a run into it off the third lifetime start.
Definitely. So Dave Rodman coming in with more changes for you. Best of luck, everybody, today.
All right. Good luck, everybody.